Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I have something really special here. This is the Spellbinders limited edition Merry Everything Christmas card kit. Now this is not part of their clubs, and anyone can purchase it. So you want to make sure that you quick jump in and get this kit. So we're going to start out first, of course, with our reveal. Now this reveal is going to take a little long because there are over 630 pieces in this kit. Now, what Spellbinders says about this, it's a traditional holiday themed kit that can create 25 plus cards and 24 plus tags, and of course, so much more. Now, I am not doing a 25 card video, although that would be a neat challenge, but I am going to make 99 cards and some tags. So let's look at what comes into this. So you get all of your envelopes, you get your card bases, and of course you get your sheet that tells you what's in the kit, and a little bit of inspiration. And I was very inspired by that little bug. Look at that bug. It's awesome. You get some beautiful pieces of cardstock. In all kinds of colors, ranging from Christmas theme to some mirror cardstocks to some everyday colors as well. Sorry about that. These adorable little envelopes that are stickers. Of course, you get your double-sided adhesive, as always, and you're going to get 2 double-sided foam squares. That, of course, that whole thing can be used. Some red and white twine. These cute, puffy, very glossy stickers. Some red glitter stickers. These awesome letters that are also red glitter. There's a lot of glitter going on in this. You have some great sentiment stickers, and some also, those are the 3D stickers in the front. Some beautiful gems in green, clear, and red. There's your tags. So these are already pre-done for you. So these are perfect just the way that they are. But of course, we changed them up a little bit. As we're digging around for some more items there, I'm telling you, there was a lot in here. You get some journaling cards. So you get the large and the small. So this is real quick, the front and the back. So much you can do with these. If you like to journal, these are perfect for your planner, to decorate your planner, to make some notes, just to use some real pretty paper clips to put them in there. These are also great for your cards. Now these are the smaller ones, and you get 2 of each of these, and I'm going to show both sides. But you can do the same things with these. Put these in your planner, clip them. If you have a board that sits in front of you with some push pins, you can use them for that. You can use them as bookmarks. But I do use them in a lot of our cards. If you see my previous videos, I love to layer paper and cardstock and all of that. So there is so much in here. That one's cute. I love that one. That was one of my favorites. So many choices when it comes to the cards that come in the kit. What you'll also get into the kit is, of course, a 6x6 paper pad. Now I'll flip through what these papers look like. They are one-sided, and know that it is a paper pad. It's not a heavy cardstock, but it does have a nice weight to it and is perfect for layering. Because when you use a thick cardstock and you're layering, I mean, you're adding a lot of bulk. But layering with this, you're not adding as much bulk. So they're great for your backdrops as well. You also get some glitter paper, one in red and one in white. And you also will get some vellum sheets. And the vellum has a red foil that's going over it. One's with some stars and some circles, and the other one is for has some stripes. Of course, the die cut pack. I love this die cut pack. I love all of the die cut packs. I could play with these forever. So those are just some of the items there. I'll be able to dig into that. This is your stamp set, so some great sentiments, and each has a different font, which I really enjoyed. And then, of course, this is the die set. So yes, we get to make a beetle with a tree. And as I said, I was very much inspired by the card. The fingers are twitching. I'm thinking already from the moment that I stopped. So let's dig right into card 1. This will not be a 2-part. I am going to show everything in this. So I did speed the video up just a little bit. So I'm grabbing some of the gray cardstock and I'm just cutting away. Really didn't have too big of a thought process going on here. I'll be real honest with you. Although I think I was thinking of one thing and for some reason was cutting something else. So it was kind of comical. But we're going to put this down. I'm going to real quick grab my black soot and just put some of that around the edges. And I'm going to glue this piece down. Now I'm going directly onto the standard A2 size card bases that are included in the kit. And that means that they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And these are side folding card bases. So now I grabbed that second piece, did the same thing, added a little bit of the black soot to it just to give it some shading. So I have some strange hills going on there. But that's okay. We keep going. I was not quite sure what I was cutting there. It's kind of funny. So once they're glued down, I did grab one of the journaling cards. I love the Bingo Santa card. I think it is great. I'm going to glue that down, and I'm just going to tuck that in behind, let's call it the wonky road. Let's go with that. So now I'm going to show you how I put together the, I'm going to call it the bug. So I first glue down the body, and you can see you have all of these cut out. So I did cut it another time too with the silver mirror cardstock. And then I'm going to attach the wheels. So I attached the centerpiece, which I made silver. And it's great because when you die cut that, it gives you embossing in that center too. So it makes it look like a hubcap. So now I'm pulling out all of those strips from the mirror cardstock cutout that I did. And I'm going to glue those inside the areas there that are open along the vehicle. I'm going to use my tweezers a lot for this. Because there are some really tiny little pieces. The other item that I'm using to pick up some of the smaller pieces looks like a pencil. It's actually a wax nail pencil. I use those to pick up my sequins, gems, or anything else as well. And it works great on cardstock too. So once they're set, I'm also using my tweezers to push them down into the area where they sit. Now I'm going to get the bumpers on, and that's the front and the back, of course. I'm going to lift up the tire just a little bit. I thought the bumper was sticking out just a little bit too far. So I'm just able to lift those up just a little bit, just the corner, and then I'll be able to set the bumper in place. And then once that is set, then I'll have this cross. Okay, we'll call it a cross bumper piece. Yeah. So again, using the tweezers, I'm sorry, I had to get something to drink there. I'll be doing that a lot. Now I'm going to put on the handle to the door. And then, of course, we have to put the rear and front headlights. So the back one, I chose red, of course. And then the front, I chose a yellow. So we'll get those set. Now, what also comes with the die set, of course, is the tree. And the tree is a layering die. So you have the base to the tree. Yeah, the headlight was giving me a problem there. So you have the base to the tree, and then you have a top portion that you can add. So by using two colors, you're automatically going to have some shading that's going on with the tree. I did add just a little bit of vintage photo for the tree, just to give it a little bit more for the shading area. And then this also has a base, and I'm just going to put the tree right on top of that. And that's going to sit on top of my vehicle. So I love the Santa card in the background and with the car coming to the front. I didn't know if the car was going to stand out there. What helped was when I used the pale gray for the windows, just to cover up those letters. You also get one of those big bows that will stretch over the tree onto the car to keep it tied down, because we don't need it flying away as we're driving. And when I add my glue, I'm just adding some dots so that I can minimize the glue oozing out the sides. Yes. And then I'm just setting the last piece. I am going to use an acrylic block just to make sure that everything is secured. So on the outside, I used one of the sticker sentiments that says Jingle All the Way. And then on the inside, I put a sentiment sticker, Oh, what fun. So I thought that was really cute. All right, for the second card, moving along, I'm going to use one of the journaling cards. And I trimmed that down. It's approximately 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to have a nice border that goes around it. I grabbed one of the envelope 3D stickers, and then one of the glitter stickers. And of course, when I pulled it off, they're very strong. I pulled it right off the sticker part. So no problem, we use glue. I thought that was amazing. I did that. And I'm just going to add the big 25 just in front of the envelope. So I was able to embellish just the center of that wreath for that card. I'm going to pull in some gems, and I'm going to add some of the red gems around the wreath to some of the berries. Just to add a little bit more shine and shimmer, but not to all of them, only to a few. Definitely the larger ones. And again, that just gives it a little bit more oomph. Gotta have a little oomph. For card number 3, again, I grabbed one of the journaling cards, and I grabbed one of the sentiment that says Merry Xmas. I'm going to stamp that down using my Versamark. I always say that way. The Versamark ink, and I'm going to use my gold embossing powder. I will heat set that until it is smooth, and then I'm going to prop it up onto a piece of glitter cardstock. Now, I've cut the vellum piece to 4 5 1/4, and then I cut the glitter card to 3 1/2 by, I'm going to say 4 1/2. Now, I'll have to be honest, I usually, when I'm cutting down my cards, I really don't measure them. I just say, yeah, this will look good. Yeah, this will look good. So, but I'll try to give the measurements here. I used some of my double-sided foam tape and some liquid glue so that it could adhere onto the glitter paper. And then I added some double-sided tape to the back of the vellum, but only where I knew I was going to put that panel so that the tape couldn't be seen. I'm going to add some more double tape to the back of that panel, and then we'll set that in place. And we'll set that so that the journaling card that I stamped on is actually straight. The panel of the glitter cardstock will be set at an angle. So lots of shine going on there. Now, what's great with this glitter paper is it's not too rough. It's kind of smooth. But it is still definitely a glitter cardstock. Added a gem to the top, and let's move on to card number 4. So for card number 4, had this perfect pattern paper, I just cut it down, and I'm going to 4 5 1/4, and I'm going to set that onto a piece of the brown cardstock, and I actually cut that to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to use the double-sided tape to secure this to my card base. And then I did set aside a couple of the glitter sentiments with the white outline. So on the front, I'm going to use the happy sentiment. And I'm going to, I was careful this time when I pulled it off. They are very well secured onto the acetate. And I'm just going to place that so that it goes around all of the stars, but I didn't want to cover any of those up. So I set that in place, and then on the inside, I'll set the ho ho ho. Trying to do the inside of the cards. Added some gems throughout in clear and red. Again, just to give it a little bit more sparkle. And then I'll set that down in the bottom right hand corner. So that is our 4th card. For our 5th card, we're going to get into a little bit more layering and a lot of vintage photo. Oh yes. So all of the items that I'll be layering have been hit with the vintage photo mini blending tool. Yes. So I've cut some of the pattern paper. So I grabbed the white and the black. And it's a little bit bigger than my standard card base, but that's fine. When I adhered it, I'm just going to trim off the excess. This way that I know it'll be even with my card. I'm then going to grab the red panel that I've cut. And that has been cut to 3 by 4 3/4. Again, I'm going to set that in place. So again, it's not covering up everything. I'm going to set my journaling card on an angle, and I'm going to put that towards the bottom because I did want the red pattern paper to show, because I did like the sentiment on there. This is one of my favorite sentiments. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. I love it. And it's one of those clear sentiments. So you just want to make sure that what you're putting them on, it'll be readable. I was using one on another project and you really couldn't see it that much. Now, of course, I actually checked that before I took it off of the acetate. So now I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive and the double-sided foam squares, and I'm just going to start separating out the other pieces that I grabbed. So I grabbed one of the 3D envelopes, Merry, Joy, and Bright. For our next card, again, we're going to do some more layering. So again, pieces of the pattern paper I just cut into different sizes. Again, nothing is exact, just something to fill up the card base. Using the double-sided tape, I'm going to set my pattern papers in place first. Now here I'm deciding, did I want this to be a portrait card or did I want to have this be a landscape? I did decide to do a landscape because I knew I was going to be adding so many more pieces. Yeah, I have a lot going on here. Which makes it fun. The journal card is actually going to be straddled across the 2 pieces of pattern paper. Again, the vintage photo will absolutely make a present on all the pieces that we have. So I knew I wanted this tree with the little Santa list and envelope because the journaling card that I chose has Santa, please stick to the list. I like that one too. I thought it was cute. So what I did was, it was easy to tear off the note to Santa in the envelope. So I did that so that just the image of the tree was in the background and I was able to reset those items. I set the package or the pile of presents because I thought that actually went with the Santa, please stick to the list. Just saying. So I also grabbed the string of lights from the die cuts. We're going to hit that with a little bit of the vintage photo. And we're going to set those down using some liquid glue. And we're going to set those off to the side. I didn't quite know where I was going to put those, but I'm going to trim off the excess. And then I have the two banners, Naughty, Nice. Again, it has that whole stick to the list theme going on there for the holidays. Yes. I will prop both the Naughty and the Nice up with double-sided foam squares. And once they're set, our card is complete. So for card number 7, yes, card number 7, again, we're going to do some layering. So I've cut a panel, again, from the pattern paper. Used a lot of the gold foil going on here. And I'm going to set that down onto my card base. And usually when I'm cutting the pattern papers and going directly onto the card base, they are cut by 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I'm inking around each of the pieces, and I just fell in love with those two journaling cards. And what's funny, they're each the same. I'm just using the different side from each of them. But that green is like the red cardstock or pattern paper that I used in the previous card. For the second panel, I am going to prop that up using some double-sided foam tape. And then I did grab 2 of the trees from the die cut pack. So I grabbed the gold foiled one, and I also grabbed the black one with the gold dots. I thought the black really helped pull out the sentiment, which says, "Meet me under the mistletoe." So that I thought that had a great accent to it. Going to pull out some gems, and for this one I'm going to use the green ones and just put those around the mistletoe. Okay, we're getting there. Card number 8. So again, some more layering, of course, using the cards. I did fall in love with the Santa photos. I just remember those days. I remember not wanting to sit on Santa's lap, but I loved Santa, and I still believe there is a Santa out there. Absolutely. We must believe. I drive my husband crazy all the time, people. Yes. So here I am. I'm cutting some cardstock again. I've got the black and white stripe. I grabbed the big red polka dot, and then the candy canes. I thought these went really well together. Lots of different textures just for the designs from the paper themselves. So after I had my black and white stripes set in place, I'll be setting the white or the red polka dots up at the top of the card base, and then the candy canes will come down off of that. The journaling card I'm going to prop up using some double-sided foam tape, just setting that in place, and that's going to be set on the card leaning towards the side. I did choose some of the ornaments that had the gold accent, so I'm just going to lift up that panel real quick so I can place the larger of the ornaments down, and then the rest of them I'm going to use combination of foam squares and liquid adhesive, and they're just going to come up off of the corner. No strings, just ornaments. It would look cool if you added strings to them though, so it's an option, always an option. Then I will grab those gems again, and I'm going to use all three colors, the green, the clear, and the red for this one. And I'm just going to set those sporadically in clusters throughout the card. This will help it just helps your eyes just go in different areas, because there is, really there's a lot going on here, but it is broken up. So it's not too, there's too much on there. For our last card, and yes, it says number 9. Okay. So I grabbed some of the white glitter paper, which again is really nice. You can tell it's glitter paper, but it's not coming off on my fingers. And I'm sitting here scratching it. I'm sure you can hear that. But it's not, it's somewhat flat. It's not too bumpy. Anyway. So I adhered that using my liquid adhesive to a piece of gold mirror cardstock, and then I'm going to prop that up onto the pattern paper that I chose. Now the pattern paper was cut at 3.5 by 5.5, and then the gold mirror cardstock was cut 2.25 by 5.5, and then of course our glitter cardstock panel is 2 inches by 5.5. So I'm getting all of these different layers, and I'm using the card base as a layer as well, as a border for this. I'm going to grab those beautiful red glitter alphabet stickers. Now, even though these are stickers, I will also use my liquid adhesive, because I am going down onto glitter paper. So I do like to have liquid glue for that, because it'll get down into the glitter. I think if I just kept them as the stickers, they would come off. So try to use liquid adhesive if you have it in your stash. I think you'll get a better, they'll stay together more. That's what I was looking to say there. So I'm going to pick one up carefully. I do have them set off from each other, just to make it look like it was written, going across. So I'm trying to have that C connect to the E, and the E connect to the A, and so forth. I did start from the center and work myself out to each edge. That helped me to make sure that this was centered. It's a little off, but again, I'm good with it. Let it go. It's a handmade card. So now, since this is a merry everything, you do know that we must have tags, right? So out of the set of tags that came in the kit, I grabbed one of each and a lot of the die cuts, and I just had a ball with these. Everything's being hit by the vintage photo. Yes. It's a merry event with the vintage photo and me. Yes. So I'm going around each of the die cuts, and each one will, have a certain die cut for it. So between the double-sided foam squares and the tape, we're just going to have fun, and we're going to get these attached. And as you can see, I'm actually cutting into one of those double-sided foam square pieces, because you can use the entire piece. Because I want to make sure that my Santa had as much of the foam tape as possible. So that is our Santa. I put him on the black and white glitter, and now I'm going to set the snowflakes using the liquid glue and the double-sided foam squares. So we're going to set that. Those were set on the red and white glitter tag. So now I have this multi-color tag, and I'm going to put a big bow that's just going to come off the bottom of that, just to give it a little bit of interest there, so the tag will actually continue. Actually, I put it on an angle there. Yep, forgot about that. So for the poinsettia tag, I'm going to add one of the trees. And then I'm going to add the sentiment coming up along the tree. Grabbed one of the snow globes for the red and white tag, which is like the pattern paper. Which, of course, these all resemble the pattern paper. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm going to prop that up using some foam squares. And then for our last one, I grabbed this really cool star with the red bow. And it had a punch out onto it, so I made sure that was removed, and I'm just going to set this now up using some foam squares, making sure that the bow had the majority of them. Again, they're tags. And then I'm going to glue down the top portion of the star. Now that tag is actually a white glitter and white cardstock. I did grab some twine from my stash, and I grabbed a black and white. And I'm just putting this through each of the tags. So just from this, I made 6 tags. From that packet alone, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's 24 in that packet alone. So you can have 24 tags instantaneously for any of your gifts, and these can be universal. Some of them, they can be used for any holiday, not just for Christmas. Yes, even more tags. Absolutely. Can't have enough tags. So I took some of the white glitter paper and I just cut my own tag. So once I had that formation, I'm just using that to cut off each of the corners from the glitter paper, and then I will do the same thing when it comes to the vellum. I'm going to line up all the vellum of each of the prints, line them up, and then trim those, and then do the same thing with the ones with the stars and the circles. These are very simple. Took me no time at all just to cut down these pieces. You can make your tag any size that you want. Mine are about 1.5 inches wide and about 2.5 inches long. I'm going to punch the holes in all of them at once, and then we are ready to thread. So basically I'm just using a piece of the vellum to go right on the top of the glitter paper. And that's all it is, because you'll be able to write on the other side. And you can tie your tags any way that you would like. So these would be great for tops of bottles of wine because I've kept them open and they're tied at the top. You can tape them onto your gifts, you know, however you would want to adhere them. These will also make a cute ornament for a tree. I think it would be cool to have a tree just filled with tags. Oh, I think I just came up with an idea. That would be awesome. I love tags. I'm a tag person. I think tags are awesome. So I'm using the red and the white twine that did come in the kit. And that right there gave us another 6 tags. So they took no time at all. So I do hope that you enjoyed this kit, everything that came with it, and all of the projects that I made, and know that there is so much more that you can make with this kit. So you want to make sure, again, this is a limited edition Merry Everything Christmas kit. This is not part of the club, so if you're a subscriber, you won't get this. You do have to make a separate purchase for this. The kit is now live. So please make sure you get over there, because I have the feeling that this is going to go fast. Once it is gone, it is gone. All right, so keep that in mind. So all the products that I used, which were not many, so I'll list my art glitter glue and my scissors down below, and of course my vintage photo. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, along in the video description will be a link to the Spellbinders blog, their inspirational gallery, and of course their shop. So be careful, but have fun and enjoy. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending this lengthy time with me. I'm so glad you lasted this long with me. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe, and if you do, make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video has launched. I hope everyone is having a great day, getting ready for the holidays, whatever holiday it is that you do celebrate, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative.